Hi, this is Jason with Everyday Apple, and in this video, I want to do a basic introduction to Apple Pages for you. If you have been using Microsoft Word for a while and now you want to switch to using Pages, or you're just getting started with Pages for any reason, this would be a good starting place for you. So let's dive right in and just get a lay of the land of this terrific app. First of all, what is Apple Pages? It's basically a word processing app, but one that goes a lot farther than just creating basic documents. You can also do some terrific page layout. So if you have a very simple need for a basic document, you can do it very efficiently there, but also you've got the capability to create some great page layout documents, so newsletters, things like that. The only time I don't recommend using Pages is in office situations or in a group situation where you've got a lot of people using Microsoft Word and you're doing a lot of document sharing. In that situation, it's probably best just to stick with Microsoft Word. However, I will say you can export Pages documents out as Microsoft Word documents, and you can import a Word document into Pages. Now be aware that you can access Apple Pages, of course, on a Mac, but also on an iPad or an iPhone using the app, and that's downloadable in the App Store. But you can also access it on the web via iCloud.com if you've got an iCloud account. You can edit documents and view documents there and the web interface as well. So let's dig into Apple Pages and just kind of get the basics down here. So when you first open up Pages, typically what you're going to see is a screen that looks like this. What's new in Pages? And it gives you kind of the latest, and you can look at new features. Okay, so we hit continue there. It'll present to you a template chooser. A lot of great templates here, including books, if you're publishing something to Apple Books, letters, resumes, flyers, posters, cards, and so on. So take a look at the templates and decide, first of all, what is it I'm trying to do here? And is there a template already set up for me that I can use and make this a lot easier? We're going to start with a basic blank template. And keep in mind that there's two different kinds of documents in Pages. There's your basic word processing document. Okay, and then there's your page layout document. That's going to be where you're putting a lot of objects in place and maybe doing some interesting things with fonts, and it's more object-based. This blank basic document template is going to be more text-based. So let's open up with that just so we can get a lay of the land here. So when it first opens up, you're going to see a few areas of the screen by default. Across the top here, you've got the toolbar. And then over on the right side, you will see a sidebar for formatting, so a formatting sidebar. There also is a sidebar on the left side you can view here. And so I'm going to start walking through this, and let's start with this left sidebar. So I'm going to click Page Thumbnails right here. And if you're working with a document with multiple pages, it's kind of nice to have that open. And you can see there are a number of other things you can view here as well. Table of contents. There's a comments pane that you can show if you're working with someone else on a shared document, and then some other options as well. So that's the sidebar on the left side. Then all the way across the top, let's look through kind of what's up here, some of your options of what you can do. You can choose in the settings how you want by default for this to be set up. I have it set at 150 when I have a new document created. You can set it however you want. So you can fit the whole page on the screen, and you'll see that. Then you've got Add Page, where if you're working with a document and you just want to quickly add a page, you click that, and there you go. Now, before I go further into the other options on this toolbar, do keep in mind that when you right-click up here on this toolbar, you can choose Customize. And so when you click that, that allows you to drop in any of these options you see here, and you have plenty of room on that toolbar. So you could have a toolbar with all kinds of stuff there, of course. And that's more Microsoft Word approach, where you have tons of options on that toolbar. The Apple default setting, the default approach, I think, is simplicity. And so you can add more complexity if you'd like to this toolbar. I added one thing, the image adjust here, because I like that. Other than that, though, I've kept it pretty basic. And so you'll see you have a number of options of things that you can insert into your document. I'm going to go ahead and actually drop in some text here. There we go. And let's see here. That way we've got something to work with. So up here you have the insert menu on the toolbar. And here's where I can drop in additional page breaks. So I want it to move to another page. I did that. You've got other things you can insert like page numbers, page count, footnotes, and so on. Then you have the ability to insert a table. So across these basic functions here, you've got things like this. So tables where you see different styles you can drop in. Okay. And then you've got charts you can put in. So assuming you've got some data you want to work with and present in a chart form, you can do that here, and those can be edited. Then you've got text boxes. And then you have different shapes that you can drop in and a lot of different categories here. And we'll show you more about that in a moment. And I added this button, the image adjust. And then you have the ability to bring in different kinds of media. And so if you've got photos, videos you're working with, if this is more of a digital document that you're not going to be printing, you can put in music, web video, record some audio. So really interesting things you can do with this. And then you have comments if you are sharing a document. So speaking of sharing, if you want to share a document with another Apple Pages user, you can work on this in a collaborative way by going to Share. And then it will present some of your recent text messages, and you can send directly to a person you've sent a recent text message to, and it will give them an invite to where they can collaborate. Or you can just send a copy. Now, collaboration is really cool because when they make a change, you're going to see that, and it's going to be tracked in the comments and changes section right over here. So that's a pretty nice feature, really nice to have when you're working with someone else collaboratively. All right, so that's the toolbar across the top. Now let's focus on the right sidebar for formatting. So I'm going to select some text here. Let's just select this whole paragraph. And you'll see that I've got a number of things here on the formatting. Now, if you're used to Microsoft Word, a lot of this stuff is across the top of the page in the toolbar. What you'll see here is that it's in the sidebar. So that's going to be a big difference for you. In the style section here, you have a menu to where you can make changes to the text that you've selected by choosing different styles. So for some reason, I wanted this whole paragraph to be a heading, which will be odd, but I'll choose it. There, it applied that whole style. I'm going to undo that. And you can also update a style. So currently, the default body style does not match the font selection I have here, but I could say, well, I want to update the body style to match that. So now, anytime I choose body as a style, it will match what I have here. So these styles are really useful for applying consistent looks throughout your document. But then you have sort of the basics. I probably don't need to explain all this, but you've got your font selections and different options with all of that. Apple has, inside of Pages, has hidden a number of little features here for text that you want to be aware of on this little gear icon, character spacing and baseline shifts and capitalization and outlines and shadow. So those can be useful in very specific situations, but they also can be easy to miss on that little gear button. And then you've got some character styles here. Text color, text alignment, spacing, and so on. I don't need to explain how all that works, hopefully, if you're using a word processing document. Keep in mind that when you've got text on the page along with objects, you've got to determine how you want that text to interact with the objects. So, for example, any of these objects, or if you say you put a shape on the page and you choose your style for it. Now, you've got to decide, how do I want this to work when I put it in front of or with text, next to text? By default, you can see what it does. Text just sort of flows around it. Now, if you want to arrange this in a different way, you select the object and go to Arrange. You'll see the Arrange appears right up here when you have an object selected. And this works for whether it be a table or anything that's an object that you've inserted onto the page. So I'm going to choose Arrange up here, and I can just say, how do I want this to move? So you can say, even if the text moves, I want it to stay on that exact spot on the page. Or I want it to move. If the text moves, I want to kind of see this little marker right here where it's like a cursor with a little dot on top. In other words, whenever that text moves, this will move with it. So if I added a paragraph break here, that box is going to go with that paragraph as it goes on down because it's linked to that spot right there. So you can also say, I want text to flow around or above and below. So if I say above and below, it looks like this. Now, wherever I move this, text just flows above and below. It's not going to be beside it or in line with text as well. So it just depends on how you want things to look. There's also none, and if you choose none, it just sits on top of text or your text of any kind. And that would work with text boxes or anything. If you have a page layout that you're doing instead of just a normal word processing document, that none might be something that's more useful to you. I find with a word processing document, generally I'm going to choose, say, just automatically wrap around it. But you've got some options there, including how much spacing is going to exist between the object and the text and things like that. So that's a real important thing to remember when you're working with objects on a word processing document in Pages. And the only thing about Pages that I would say I find a little annoying is in the application of bullets. And so I'm actually going to get rid of this here. If I am starting to create a bulleted list and say, okay, I want to use text bullets, and we'll choose one, or I'll just make my own. There, I'll put the little bracket there, hit enter. Now I've got a bulleted list started. When I start adding items, but then I want to go to a next level, it still applies that same bullet to the next level. I really wish I could set this up in such a way that it would automatically give me a different bullet for the next level on an indent, on an outline, bulleted outline, but it does not do that. Now you can choose to use one of the styles here. Let's say you use this numbered style. Then you can say, okay, I want when it changes a different level, choose tiered numbers, and it will give you that. So when I'm going to a different level, you see how it changes. And then that would apply to however you want to lay that out. So that's bullets. The next thing to point out here is just the basic layout of the document, especially if you have columns. So if I wanted 2 columns, I could just choose that and then make changes to the column width, the gutter width, indents, and so on. And so I can customize that column. That's probably going to be most useful too if you are using a different page layout. If I go to landscape, so I would go to file menu and choose page setup and then choose landscape. When I do that, now I've got room for 2 columns, and I have found that to be pretty useful if I'm creating some half-page documents set up that way. Then you have the More menu here, and there's just some other options you can choose. So just be aware that this sidebar, this formatting sidebar, is where you're going to find a lot of the things that you found in Microsoft Word, probably if you were using that, all along the top. Now, if you've never used Word and this is just your first word processing app, then you're going to be fine. Just stay over here to the right side for all your formatting of your document. There's some document formatting for the entire document, not just selected text, when you click right here and choose document. And so I can say, actually I went to the page layout for this and I forgot that it's, so page setup is where I went to choose landscape, but you can choose it right here under document and choose the orientation. See, now we're back to that. And choose what your headers and footers are going to look like. Now, there's one option I do want to highlight here. Whenever you decide that you want to switch to a page layout document for some reason, you're thinking, you know what, I just want to do page layout. You would click this and you're going to get a warning and say, are you sure you want to convert this to page layout? It will remove the document body, including text and inline objects. Okay, yes, convert. Everything's gone and you just made a page layout document. I don't know why you would ever do that in the middle of a document you've been working on because it gets rid of everything. You can just create a new document with the page and start with that page layout. So I'm going to undo that and let's bring our text back. But this is also where you're going to choose document margins and so on. So there's some other things here you can look at like bookmarks. And so we won't get into that. I feel like that's a little bit next level. in terms of some formatting and so on. When you're using Pages and you're starting to, where do I find something? You can always start just by going up to the menu and checking here. And if you know what you want to do, you can type something in the help menu. Let's say that you can't remember how to copy a style or something. You type style. Oh yeah, there it is. And you scroll down and it will point to exactly where you need to go to do that. And you can even click this and say copy style. I hope this has been helpful. If you have some questions about things I did not cover, feel free to drop those in the comments, and maybe I can help answer it there, or some other users could help as well. Thanks for watching. We will see you on the next one. Please subscribe if you haven't, and hit that like button. I would appreciate it. Thanks.